Very good morning, bonjour from beautiful Paris. Lenka here, and a couple of days ago I posted a little educational reel about the difference between the archetype of the queen and prostitute and how can they play a huge role in our business and business success. Your prostitute will say, I need this. Your queen will say, I choose this. Your prostitute, you'll always feel, I have to do all of this by myself. Your queen will know I can create so much through others and I can extend my trust to them. Your prostitute will always want to give her maximum. Your queen never gives her maximum. She always gives her best. Your prostitute will source her value through other people, numbers, praise, validation. Your queen sources her value internally. She trusts the wisdom of her heart, always. And I've learned something very powerful from this. And I'm going to be changing the label of the prostitute archetype, even though it's been pretty much universally established as one of the four major survival archetypes. I'm going to change it to something else. But the main reason why I want to share this with you, not just about the change of label or change about the words, but about the difference and the power of intelligent feedback versus a keyboard warrior shitty feedback that you see so much online, and I would hope you're not engaged in. So obviously, when I put a little reel about the prostitute archetype and how to work with her, or what influence this aspect of us, which each and every one of us has for the business, it's a little controversial, especially for those that don't know my work or work with energetic archetypes. However, as you would go through the comments, you would find a few shitty feedbacks, such as, oh, calling this prostitute is a misogynistic, it's this and that. Now, I want you to think about where this kind of feedback goes. If you disagree with something, I think it's amazing to express it and very important to express it. But if you receive a feedback, you're misogynistic, or you're sexist, or you're whatever names, by doing so or saying so, where do I as a person go from here? Obviously, I've got ego, just as everyone else has got some ego. So I will say, well, in my inside I will say, well, F off, you don't know me, you don't know the context, and I'll probably delete, or I'll leave it, but whatever, but it's going nowhere. There is no door opener at all where I or anyone else who receives such feedback can learn something. However, I would like to read for you one powerful piece of intelligent feedback that made me change my mind. And I love when I come to any point where I'll acknowledge, oh, I've been wrong. I was wrong. And I'm learning something from this, and I'm going to change something. Because it's those moments that make the world go round, and it's those moments, if you're able to create them, that expand the universe and are really the source of any invention and progress. So, just one moment, I need to dig out that feedback. It's from a wonderful Kuninjatar Q, and I hope I pronounce it, but you will find it on the reel just from the couple of days back. And the feedback goes, I understand and agree with your message 110%, but as a sex worker, I have to say that the choice of using the word prostitute to explain what you mean is very misleading. Now, I'll stop right here. She met me where I was. She started Kuninjatar, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing your name correctly. She met me at common purpose or common something. She says, I understand and agree with your message 110%. And I'm immediately drawn in. My ego mind is not engaged. I'm immediately drawn in. But I have to say, as a sex worker, I have to say that the choice of using the word prostitute to explain what you mean is very misleading. And then she goes on. Professional sex workers aka prostitutes, are by their energy the same as what you call the queen. So maybe in this context, better words to use instead would be, for instance, victim, people pleaser, nice girl, doormat, or something similar. Sex workers are absolutely none of those. I've been schooled very intelligently. I've been schooled because, I'll admit it, in my work, of course, I work with what is created and expanded. I created some powerful processes around the archetypal work that I use with my clients, and it's magic. And the prostitute label specifically, a few times it popped into my mind that at some point I'll need to feel deeper into it, because, for instance, there is such an archetype as sacred prostitute, which I've been working with a little bit, haven't introduced it yet, and it's a very powerful archetype and a part of our psyche that work with sexual energy in a very, very powerful way. So it's either sacred prostitute or it's a prostitute. But admittedly, I've never contemplated, just blindly assumed that prostitutes or a profession of prostitute would come from distorted energy. And Kuninjatar schooled me, very intelligently schooled me. It's wrong. Not every woman who is a prostitute is in what I would call prostitute energy, selling her or exchanging her sense of value for the sense of security, or drawing that sense of worth through something or someone else. So I pretty much immediately had to say, I hear you, I agree with you, and based on what you said, I will be indeed changing the label of my teachings. What some might say is a big part of my work, the transformative work that I do with my clients. So the reason why I wanted to share this is not just maybe you can help me and come up with a better label for the wounded masculine energy archetype. And I think it's a slave, as in slave boy, slave girl. But you may come up with something better. But also to remind all of us how important it is, yes, express when you don't agree with something. I think it's very important to express if you feel so, absolutely. But the way we express it can really make a difference. Because if we just go about, oh, that's stupid, I don't agree, or this is misogynistic or sexist or whatever label, if we just attack, there is absolutely nowhere to go from there, and the receiver of that feedback is not going to do anything with it. In fact, this kind of feedback discourages many powerful women, many powerful people from practicing their voice. But intelligent feedback, where you meet the communicator where they're at and offer your new perspective, makes the world go round and makes the world better and better. So that's just a little encouragement for you to practice that kind of feedback. And yes, I'm going to be changing the label for one of the 4 survival archetypes we are working with. Of course, over time, of course, those that are newer in my community, I'll be sharing more of this work. Now I'm in Paris, where I'm being connecting with this deep, the desire force of the Isis, a goddess Isis. And there is so much I'm so looking forward to share with you a little later, when it's all fully embodied, fully integrated, and I see intangible and tangible results. That's, I think, is the only place from I can teach powerfully. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much for everyone that gave me any feedback, and love you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.